Good morning. I was sharing the student growth, whether it was adequate or not. I pulled out some students from the first proficiency scale, which was domain two. RW did not take the pretest. I think failed to follow the instructions. Kind of threw things off a little bit. However, uh, he received an 81, which should be pretty good. Um, I was just thinking that gosh, that's almost 20% of the learning targets still on the table for him. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to see him review the ones he missed, the learning targets, and attempt it a second time, which would really make his post score his pre-assessment score. But he did some learning in there, so I'd just like to see him fill that gap, that 20% gap, because he's left some things there. In the proficiency scale two, domain three, I had three students that I felt um, had inadequate learning. So if you notice, they all have fairly high pre-test scores, and not even in the 90s for their post assessment score. So they had a lot of room they could work with there, 20+%, and they didn't quite make that. So I believe that I would expect those individuals to focus on a couple of learning targets that they still left, and close that gap. They could certainly do that. Um, they started out strong. I feel like they didn't apply themselves to the learning, and maybe hit another couple of targets. But I would like for them to try that again. I don't know if it's just hey, they did so good here, they thought they didn't have to try, possibly. And then in the proficiency scale three, domain four area, I had two students. Um, Gosh, again, look at these higher pre-test scores. JS had 75 on the post score, so not not very good. Not even to the 80% passing. So I would say that's inadequate. Inadequate percentage, inadequate for the final score as well. So those are some of the reasons I think they did well on the pretest. So they more than likely did not apply themselves to their learning and practice. And so when they took their post test, it did reflect. And I would like to see these guys go back and attempt that again.